So I'm going to talk about building character with accents. And I'm going to use as a for instance a session I had recently with an actor who was of Italian American heritage. And he gets a lot of breakdowns, you know, for New Yorkers who are Italian American. And that is not his life experience. But as he said, it's my heritage. And I said, that right there, where you feel that heritage, that's where we're going to start. Because that's that feeling in you that you can apply your empathy to, that you can pay attention to and listen to and absorb from, and let that start to inform how you carry your body into these shapes that ended up being 3 different characters in that session, which is rare. I'm going to be perfectly honest with you. He's a professional. We were able to get to 3 different guys. But I'm going to walk you through it a little bit, okay? So, you've often heard me say I like to work from the inside out. Other people work outside in. Everyone's got a different way. For me, I feel it first, okay? But there's 2 parts to it. Yeah, only 2. Feeling it from the inside out and observing with a lot of attention. My observation is like the bandwidth is very deep. Okay? And that's how I can pick up a lot of subtle information. So you got to start really paying attention and feel this essence from the inside and start to find it. So the first bit that we were working with, it was a spot, that's what we call it, was a script for a commercial, okay? It was a radio commercial. And this guy loves sports. And so, and he's like really in his body, and the actor does not love sports. So we had to find something that brings him alive to the extent that sports and this particular team brings this guy alive. Right? Because in this spot, he's talking about it before this one event in the life of this team and after. Like it was a before and a clear after. And everyone obviously understands that's what we're talking about here. All right, so it was so important to him that he had to stop you with whatever you're doing in this day and bring his opinion, and he wanted to have like a conversation and break it down. There was that kind of energy. So we got to do all kinds of things with all these different shapes and sounds, and rhythms, and really bring it alive. And there was this kind of like this wide, you can probably see in my face right now, there's a little bit of a wideness there because like he got to be really animated and this guy was really in his body. Okay? Next spot. This is a totally different commercial. This is something talking about security and a product and a company. And so I said, okay, this is the older brother of this guy. He grew up on the same street. He understands the need for this product. But he's, for decades, this guy was, somewhere in the middle. For decades, he has been working in an office building. He has had to have people trust him who are from a lot of different backgrounds. Okay, he's still going to keep some of the flavor because you want to know that he understands your need for this product. He knows what it's like to live where you live. But also he's going to contain that in a really different vibe because that's what he needs. He needs you to trust him. And he needs to show that he's professional, that he's, that he stands by his word, that he's present and here with you, and you can trust him. So we were taking all those shapes that we just explored into and stretched out, and we were just bringing them in and containing them a little bit more in a business suit. And feeling what that feels like to keep that more on axis. You with me? Yeah. There was one line where we got to kind of, bring in some of the street into that a little bit. But then the rest of it, we were, bringing in some more of those general American shapes and sounds and toning down a little bit of the stretch. Yeah, third guy. Okay. This guy works for the family business. Okay? I think you know what I mean. So, for this guy is what we would call a heavy. I'm feeling it from the writing, and as a writer, I tune in a lot to the writing. And I'm going to see what's there. What's the pacing like? When do we need to rile it up a little bit, or lighten it up a little bit, and zero in? There. So I asked, how many times you been hit in the face? What's that do to your neurology? Right? What's that do to the weight of your lips? The weight. The first thing we got into with this accent is the weight, you know. It's not easy. It's not an easy life. And this guy, he's about power. And he has built that power. It didn't just come to him. He has built that power through years. So, as a character, how does he carry those years in his body, in his mouth, in his stance? Right? I'm standing, and this guy was standing as well. I highly recommend it because you got a lot more energy you can work with. Yeah. So what happened when his lips started to get heavier, when all of this started to have less alive, neurology? If the wider I get, the more energy I get, then that's a different guy. Right? We're bringing all of that down. We might lighten up some of it somewhere so we can zero it in. Right? So, once he started to do this, it changed his S. Now, I didn't say, all right, we're going to do this really specific S. It's a little bit juicy. Nah. We did it from the inside. And because he was feeling that, and because he's a person who was giving himself permission to move his body and sound in different ways, he had that facility already built up. Maybe you got that facility already built up, and this is just fun for you, and you can play, and it feels natural. Maybe you, like most of the people I work with, you're still struggling with that part a little bit. That's okay. It gets technical, and then we talk about, we might have to talk about what the tongue is doing, how it goes in to the placement there. I didn't say the placement, right? Even that T, it's a different T. It's a T, right? So I might say, okay, take the tip of your tongue, relax it down, relax the rest of your tongue like it's a dead fish. Don't sleep with the fishes. And then you take the tip of your tongue, and that's where you're making your T behind your teeth. Right? It's also where you're going to make your TH, just a little bit different. Okay? We getting somewhere? So, if you're an actor, if you're just here because you're interested, play. Start playing. Start giving yourself permission. Start paying a lot of attention to the way people move, the way people carry themselves in their bodies, and why. What's the effect of having to muscle your way through? What's the effect of needing to earn that respect? How do you carry that in your character? Of course, hey, this is still me, right? I didn't just become a different person. I just reconfigured the kaleidoscope of my being and my body and my structure so that I can shine the same light through, and it changes, but it's still me. Right? Okay, have fun with it.